Hello, I'm Aaron and welcome back to another Laststandgamers server tour. Now we're touring a new season. This season is called Lunacy. It's the concept of 4 moons, all in very close proximity to each other, with a large asteroid cluster in the middle. There is some other asteroids around, but the idea is to limit the playing area around the centre and have some really cool punch-ups. So let's have a look here at the Dash's base to start with. So Dash have gone and built themselves this gorgeous looking hangar with this sort of techno style Tron design to it. You can see that they've got some nice bits of production up in the top area over here. Jetpacks are on this one, so you're not going to see as many catwalks to access different areas. Really cool indeed, and this hangar might even be able to fly. I've seen a cockpit up there, but I'm not too sure at the moment in time. Lunacy in the Lunacy New Year. Oh, we've got some. Oh, these are cool. Look at these. Happy Lunar Moo Year. These are nice, aren't they? These are nice little bits of cow decor. So let's actually have a look at some of their little fighters. These little shrimp-looking fighters up here. You can see they've got a lovely bit of detail into them with rocket pods, side turrets, and a variety of Gatling guns. 6 in total in the centre there. We've also got some other larger ships here by Dash. Some basic sort of frigates that can deal out a bit of damage and also weld things up. So that's a welder version. I wonder if this one's got anything specifically special on the front. That one's got a drill on the front. So I guess these guys are less frigates and more multi-role ships. And then we've got one that definitely looks like it's designed for combat over here. Very, very nice indeed. And out the back there, we've also got some thrusters, both hydrogen and ion. It looks like it needs some repairs too. Let's continue looking around. So the next group we're actually going to be going to is Ace. So some of the regular guys have changed up faction names for the moment as they've kind of formed some sub-factions and whatnot. We've still got Dash. Ace are some of the DBS members. I believe DBS is going solo this round. And if we actually have a look in here at the Ace facility, you can see they're working hard. They've got this massive turret platform, and you can see it's connected up down the centre. So the rule for this one is you can only have one large static grid, so players have got to be really careful in keeping things together and keeping within the block limit. Very, very nice indeed there. You can see that they've worked on a nice little storage system. I hate spoiling things like this, but you can see all the storage going on over here. Look at that, that is well designed and it is deep down, so it really will prevent attackers from getting stuck in there. Coming around this side, you can see that we've got ourselves these cool, almost exciting little skull ships over here as well, with the lights missile launched in there. They're going to be really cool to see fighting. And we've got a printing system over here with this little top hatch. Still looks like this place needs a little bit of work. There's some areas that are rather incomplete, but they might have just started to run out of blocks as well. So a nice big frigate in here that looks like it's received some battle damage from a previous event from the other day. And we've got one that's landed down there quite hard. Very, very cool indeed. Nice little hangar as well. Look at the Ace name on the side with that little skull to keep back some of them prying eyes. You'd see that and you'd be a little bit scared, wouldn't you? Right, let's continue on. So let's have a look around here. So as we can see, we've got a lovely BDI sort of frigate type ship over on this side, quite large. It's got carrier capacity for ships. Oh, we've got some small little fighters tucked away in here, very nicely built. Some catwalks leading up to this area. I'm not going to do too much of a detailed tour of these ships. That still looks like it's being welded up. This one's got these little pillars. I'm guessing these are decoy type pillars. Lots of weapons platforms around here. They've even got themselves a rear hangar over here that is yet to be completed by the look of it, but they've really done quite well to get all this built within just a week. And we've got this large transport looking micro ship up here as well. Oh, it's a drill ship. That's exactly what it is. And then over on this side we've got a welder. Oh, and the player himself is chuggling around. I think he's doing some work on his welding ship. And we've got a welder over here as well. Very, very nice indeed. Let's go in through the door and see what's inside here. Wow, there is a ton of ships in here. Look at these. So they're all following this blue colour scheme. We've got some lights. This guy's going to have to definitely expand his hangars out. We've got multiple drill ships. He's really definitely stockpiling. Wonder how many people were within this faction. What's he working on as well? Yeah, he's fixing up this ship that looks like it's taking some damage. So let's continue and head away from BDI. So these guys are currently up in space. So G and G, I believe, are with Frosty over here at the moment. I think I've listed this grid down twice. It's got this giant spinning stick on the front. I'm only guessing that this is a decoy stick. Yep, it's a decoy stick. It'd be interesting to see how effective that actually is going to be in combat. We've got a drill ship underneath, wrapping around the back. We've got a massive addition of hydrogen thrusters to get this thing propelling about. We've got a nice little frigate up here that looks like it's either under construction or being ground down at the moment in time. I'm trying to work out which angle it's supposed to be. I'm guessing it's something like that. And over here we've got another smaller type design there as well. Very, very nice indeed. Especially the risk of living out here in space can be quite dangerous. So this is quite a cool little outpost. We've got this rusty old exploration looking ship here with some rocket pods on the front. Reminds me of like a little bit of a mini submarine. I wonder what it's like inside. So it's a rusty battered ship on the inside there. It looks very industrial. I like that look. Up here we've got one of their drill ships, and we've got this concrete fortification built into the moon. Look at that, it's lovely. Turrets, solar panels, everything one may need. We'll have a quick dip down and see how deep this facility goes. So it's not super deep within the ground, but it's deep enough just to kind of get their priority assets tucked away under there. So let's go to our next player on the server. So this is one of the little ships that's out here in space. This is a little bit of a distance away. I wonder if the player's working on this at the moment or anything. And this is not too far away from this space station that's actually taking shape down here as well. So it looks like they're mapping it out, trying to work out how to connect all the pieces up. They've got a welder array going on over there, as well as at various different docking yards. Quite cool indeed. So this one's taking shape as well. Looks like they've got a welding vessel up on the top. We've got some miners. So that's a grinding ship. A miner there on the side. So it looks like this is the guts. I actually had a chat with this player, and he's building all the internals first, and then he's working on an outer shell. And I guess as long as he keeps moving, it looks like he's probably pretty close to one of these mining areas, and that's why he's decided to park here. He'll be pretty safe. It's just unlucky if a player happens to come across him. The issue with this server as well is I've noticed a lot of people don't keep the grids together, so sometimes I'm missing grids. So it looks like they've got themselves a space station with a large hangar taking shape here. We've got a grinding and some small attack vessels with a nice little layout of information on. We've got the little docking areas, production, CNA personal quarters, a big glass room, production facilities. So this is pretty much going to be their home by the look of it. We've got a production facility under here, printing. So if they drop their resources off onto this thing, I'm guessing this is just to be act as a mobile ship builder for them, and they can keep stashing it around space so it stays safe. Over at DMX, they have built themselves. This is definitely a ship from Star Trek, isn't it? It's a Star Trek ship. It's a what's it called? That one with the engine. No, I'm joking. I know it's a Star Wars based ship. Hopefully I didn't trigger you too hard with that. But you can see this guy is looking beautiful. Is it a Star Destroyer? Star Destroyer? Oh, they've got a few new fancy ones they've introduced in the new films. I haven't been keeping track with the Star Wars as much. But you can see that very classic look to it. I wonder how useful this shape is in actually attacking. I guess since you've got that V-shaped hull, you could have maximum amount of firepower going towards the front. But still, it's a very large ship. I like this little cockpit area up there. I hope that's not the only cockpit there, because that's going to get blasted out. I'm sure there's a thick one down below as well. So we've got turrets there. We've got this asteroid that looks like it's being chiseled out for supplies for this guy, with the various mining and other ships that are under here. Oh, it's going to be a bit messy in here. You've not got all the beautiful decks just yet laid out, but I'm sure as this comes together, as the refineries work, each and individual deck will take shape. A very cool model anyway, especially to build that on the server. That's fantastic. Players are finding lots of ways to really defend the base, and I personally think this one looks spectacular. They've gone with the classic castle type effect. That's great against stopping rovers, but really isn't too good, I guess, if stopping flyers. But it does kind of add some. What's this? This is awesome. Really cool. Is this a drilling ship? No, it's a hydrogen ship. It looks like they've left a projector on. Uh-oh. We'll have to sort that out after. So it's got various different rooms. It's some sort of rocket. I don't think this is a missile. I think this is an actual ship. But coming over into this area, we're going into their base. They've got various missile and Gatling turrets surrounding the perimeter. We've got these large sort of cylindrical ships down here in the centre. Very cool indeed. I wonder what they've got inside. So it's a thrust. Yeah, it's made out of thrusters. So it's an internal thruster with some weldy type protection in here as well. Very cool indeed. And then if we go deeper down into the base, what is in here. So at the moment it looks like it's just storage for the rest of the ships, where they've got various different drill ships that they've been excavating out. Now, one of the interesting things about this planet, oh, what's this, a little drone that floats around inside, is that the soil on the moons, we've had some issues with. Oh, there's a church of Aaron. Oh, it's not the first time I've seen that image. Nice to see that back on the server somewhere. I think it's the exact same layout as we saw on Mad Aaron many seasons ago, but they've got like a little location here that you can go into with various different seating. Hospital, what's in the hospital? An apple a day. Look at all the detail players at. It's great, isn't it? We've got different people's little rooms as well on the side. So a cool little faction, a cool little living area there. Curling Comet over on this side. Is that a bar, I'm guessing? Look at that. That's cool. Got a little dinosaur above the top of it. I could spend ages in here. It looks like, are these all the players in the faction? Very nice indeed. Lovely bit of detailing. What's over on this side? Oh, that's yet to be built. The Space Burger place is just a prop for the moment. Let's dip down. So we've got all the production in the lower floors below the charade. It's quite an advanced bunker. I guess this is because there's lots of players working here and living here together. They're going to need these facilities. Not so many ships though. I'm only seeing limited large ships and a few smaller ones on the surface, but I guess that's kind of a good thing. And the printing system here as well. What are these? So these look like little fighters that they can deploy. So everything they need, and they've not overdone the amount of ships that I think is important. Finally, have a quick look around this side. Very, very cool base indeed. Great work there. Now, Fed have been around for quite a few seasons, I will say. And their buildings do sometimes surprise me in the layout. Will this one be given any surprise? It looks like they're hard at work, as per usual, flying around. There's some of these boxes down here, these box-like fighters with turrets on the side. It looks like they're going out maybe on a mining operation. They're dumping some stone out as they go. We've got a turret segment over on this side. We've got ourselves a welding ship here. Another Fed member patrolling the perimeter down there. And it looks like this is like an attachment pod. So it's made of all the small grid parts, and it just attaches onto the side of the ship so they can carry more fighters. Let's dip into the ground and have a look at their facility. So it's a standard dugout, nothing too complicated, and because of the moon soil, a lot of this will probably fill in. Very cool indeed. A nice little outpost for them. Looks like they're lining up and maybe attempting to drill out this section. What's this here? This is like a dropper off. Oh, this is a grinding pit in this section down there as well. Yeah, it looks like they're doing some more excavations to the base. Let's have a look at this. This is the Avenger. Very cool looking ship indeed there, with a little bit of gold down the front. Definitely could hold its own in as a fight. What's this little speedy boy doing as well? Looks like he's got an extra hydrogen tank on board watching this excavation that's happening. So they must have some resources here near the base that they can keep excavating out. Okay, let's head away from Fed. BS, are they here? That's the first question. Nope, because their bubble is up. We've got this giant ship here. You know what? This reminds me of one of the Martian ones. Look at that. Very cool. The large thruster pack at the back. We've got the name of the ship on the side there. Let's just tuck ourselves in and see how far they are through completing this guy. So yeah, it's a lot of internal thrusters by the look of it. So with these internal thruster ships, they look really nice on the outside, but you have to have a place to store things. Very cool ship though, I like that. Just needs a bit more firepower, but the detailing, the colour tones are really nice. So coming down here below, we've got ourselves a 1x large hangar with some ships tucked in here as well. Coming out through that hangar door, we go through their airlock into their facility. A lot of nice colour coding. It's all been directed as well with crew quarters, so I'm guessing this is where each of their individual members, yeah, it says it on the door there, coming into here is back into production. Let's have a dip now, see how deep it goes. Not too deep because we are on a moon base. Looks like there's a little bit of a rover digging pit happening there, and they've got a cool rotating sort of panel on the top there. What's it called? An antenna, rotating antenna panel. Nice little base this. Is that their welding system? Is it a ship? Oh, so that's another cool way of doing it, having it as a ship instead of a static grid to pull out of. This one really doesn't need too much of an introduction. We've got a small satellite with this greeny brown mouldy colour, you could say, with a bit of rust added to it. So this has got everything that they need to survive. I'm guessing this is a solo player. We've got a jump drive there as well, so they can quickly escape, so they can move around, mine, drill, and I think this is a little attack craft under here. No, it's a welder. I do like the design of these things. It's got this really cool little covering over all the engines and the components, and it sounds like it is processing away at the moment. This is another massive build that someone's undertaken. This is actually a solo. I've had a chat with them today about it. They had to go back to the drawing board in some of the sections to get it to maneuver, but there is tons of rocket launchers. I'd be scared of this thing, fighting this thing. The armor is not super thick. It's only a few layers, but it's enough to definitely put up a punch. It's also a hybrid, so we've got both ion and hydrogen. Large resource capacity. If this solo manages to get this ship fully operational, he'll definitely have a chance even against some of the larger multiple man factions, just because of the amount of firepower and the amount of armor. And I think he's put the turret count, like we've talked about, all into this grid. So very exciting build. Can't wait to see how this one's going to come on. They've got this really creepy looking base. It's not yet finished, and I said I'd have a look at it next week when it is, but I believe this is a space engineer. So you can see his helmet and whatnot coming out of the ground. You can see his hands there in the front, and his hands are actually serving a purpose. They are welding platforms, so they can dock the welders that are building this thing. And the whole of this is, of course, a giant base for them to utilize when it comes to building. Getting this shape and getting the structure of it correct is fantastic. What would be even more awesome is if this thing, the top half of it, could detach and it becomes a ship. But really looking forward to the rest of that. They've also been working on what looks to be maybe a small little ship to defend this place as they're building it. Really cool indeed. This ship was moving, so I was struggling for it to actually load. So let's actually have a look. This is Loot Goblin's craft. It is a giant World War II ship by the look of it, traveling through space. Now that looks spectacular, I have to say. So we've got multiple weapons. This is actually a mobile base, this ship. So there is a hangar, I believe. Or is it underneath or on the side somewhere? Yeah, there it is on the side. We'll try to look through it while he's moving if we can. So we've got fighters over in this section. Obviously we've got lots of thrusters tucked inside there, many guns. We can't really take a look at it because he is driving it at quite some speed. We've got production. Yep, that's definitely what I'd call a speed run there of that ship. Luke Goblin, stop the ship so we can have a look at it. But cool, a really cool design. I haven't seen anything like this in any of our space seasons. You can see he's got the drill ship strapped to the side. So away from Luke Goblin. Very nice indeed. Look at these little buildings that they've got going here. Lovely. Radar dish, multiple floors. What's this? Is it production? No, it's an empty hull at the moment, Aaron. Don't get too excited. And it looks like they are working on one of their ships here. They've even got a display board up at the side, so they've got a large ship under construction. We'll have to see. It looks like they're doing it in the layer method, where they build it layer by layer. Very cool indeed. Let's have a quick dip under and see if they've got any underground facilities. Nothing underground over here. They do have a turret system over in this section though, so they're protecting this crater pretty damn well. A cool little creation. I hope that comes on without getting destroyed or someone coming to attack this. We've got drill ships on these little pods on the side. And is this a welding ship? Yeah, so this is a layer welder, I believe, for welding it up in various layers. Very cool indeed. Nbn, I believe, is Apathy and Wizard and the crew. And if you remember that giant rover from the last season, this is basically it. But they've tried to turn it into a ship. How effective this will be, we'll have to see. They're still working on it, and they're working overtime to grind. You can see they're actually pooping out gravel and rocks out either side. It'll be interesting to see if they can pull this ship around, because the original design was purely a rover, and it feels like they are shoving all the guts of a ship inside here. It's just a matter of how they'll finish it off. It looks like a lot of glass and a lot of solar panels are going to be required, but still very cool. We'll have to check back with them next week. So they've decided to take over another crater. We've got this giant ship. This looks fantastic, doesn't it? Really nice looking design. We've got some little detailing around the sides there. We've got a large thruster pod, all hydrogen at the back. Let's have a quick look inside. So we've got engines pumping hydrogen. Very cool indeed. What's the forward weapons going to be like? So we've got ourselves rocket pods tucked in the center there. Very cool indeed. So their base is protected by a few of these little turrets that they've got attached through the grid, as well as another larger ship that looks like it's being built up in layers. Very cool. Can't wait to come back here and see what they're building. Over here, one of them little speedy welders, and they've got some little docks for their ships. Cool little fighter design. They've got, of course, the welders, more fighter designs here. Little tiny ones even. Very nice indeed, all connected up. What we've got going on over here on this sign. Husker took the large grid. It was breaking the refinery rule. Ooh. Let's have a quick look over it. Nothing too much in this hangar. Just another small dart-like creature. Very cool. Nice little work there, MBS. So there's RAB. They've got themselves some giant ships down here. Look at the shape of that one. That's lovely. That black and red combo colour seems to be really just doing it. Nice RAB logo on the side there. And it is another ship with thrusters tucked internally. We've got a little bit more of a frigate-like one over on this side with a massive wall of rockets at the front. We've got a drill combo ship. So this... Oh, I like that round shape there on the side. That's very nice. And then at the back, 4 large thrusters. Very cool ships I'm seeing here at the RAB base. Coming up at their facility, it looks very industrial. We've got a concrete-like bunker up at the top. Oh, we've got someone at work as well here, fixing up some of the concrete, welding up the concrete. It's always a bit strange welding concrete, isn't it? There's the base inside here. Multiple levels they need to work on by the look of it. Let's have a look how deep it goes. Production facilities. Over on this side, we've got like a... It reminds me of like a Tron-like car park. And then we've got more ships stored down here with a little chute that they can launch out of. Very nice work. Let's see what this is going to be. Is this going to be some sort of turret tower? Well, we'll continue on anyway. So from RAB is to RSB. Let me just double check. Because some of the grids, I feel like I'm just losing track. I've got everything written down in hope that I don't miss anything. Let's just double check. So this RSB is Mr. Spice. Mr. Spice usually does himself solo, so we'll see how far he is through his solo project. Usually, no offense to Mr. Spice, he normally builds himself something far too big. And then he can't finish it off, but he does build some very cool things. Look at this, this is cool. That looks like a 40k type bomber. Very nice. Mr. Spice, my one word of warning to you is make sure that you build something that you can finish. I know you're capable of building quite a bit, but don't overdo yourself. Don't burn yourself out. So a welder over there in that section, a little bit of a turret. So it looks like a massive big platform or landing bay or bunker. I'm not too sure. We'll have to see next week what's going to be. A fighter there. I've seen this design before from another faction. Looks very similar. I remember seeing it at a hangar at the beginning. Over on this side, we've got the hive-like building, taking some nice shape out of concrete and a very glittery ship. You can't go wrong with a glittery ship, can you? Okay, back to the menu. They've got themselves a projector out on the side, but they are about, I believe, working. Yeah, there we go. We've got a rover. I've not seen many rovers on this one. I think everyone had the fill of rovers from Mad Aaron on the last one, but we have got a moon rover there, complete with wheels. We've got this large hangar area at the bottom built within the crater that I quite like. Looks like they've got a ship going up. They've got a few little weld attack grinder ships taking effect and a few little fighters down here as well as a 3D printer. Look at that little ship, like A1. I've noticed a few little numbers on these that we've been flying around. There's the A2. Wonder what the other ship is that the other player's flying around in. Wonder if he's building that one up. Very cool indeed. Nice bit of work. Let's have a quick check underneath. So they've just used the crater. They haven't built anything else. That's probably a good idea in case the moon soil becomes unstable. So Shea always likes to build her organic sort of takeover ships. And you can see there is no change here. We have both the blue, the greeny colours. And I'm sure there is some eyeballs on some areas. There always is. So it looks like some sort of freighter that's grown itself. Oh, there's even a rover on the back. Interesting. I'm starting to see a few more rovers here. So that's a drilling rover. I guess it could work. Yeah, there's a lot to be done. If Shea's working on her own on this one's going to be quite the challenge, quite the endeavour to do. There's also this carcass of this DRF ship that looks like it's been pulled apart. And these cool little turret drones. Very nice indeed. Let's keep the work up and we'll see how it continues. It's not going to be symmetrical. I know that will trigger some people. DVU, this is what they're running. They've got this small moon-like outpost. I quite like this ship. You see how it's got the grey camo with the red, well not red, reddy orange writing. It's got some glowing sort of lighting as well. Thrusters are well tucked in. It looks like it could be quite a competitive combat vessel. Let's have a look at its front weapons. It's got a massive array of rockets. That's quite important. And if we tuck down here, we've got production massed through there. So a real compact base. That's how you do a compact base. I wonder if this is a solo or one or two man faction. Got the drill ship there. What's this down here in this area? So this is a rotating printer by the look of it, with the cargo containers located underneath. There's a few issues with this. If a part does fall, then you can break your cargo container. But apart from that, you know, have ham. If you have a mistake like that, then you know, don't be crashing things around. Really nice bit. Whoa! Oh, that didn't look safe, did it? That didn't look safe at all. Did that just happen right in front of us? The ship just fell forward. Did it lose its connection somehow? I wonder if something happened. Here it is. Now, I think this is a real beautiful looking ship. You have to tell me what you think. It's got this welding system here on the front. It's got this lovely interlinked defense system on the side with a bit of recessing for the missile turrets. Missiles down the back, thrusters on the side. He's put a good bit of time into this. He's got the tilted engine pod effect. Still thrusters need building. I guess he's just continuing collecting parts. I believe he's solo at the moment as well. Wow, cool little interior as well. Really nice to see. The players have definitely been busy this season working hard. For my final message of this video is, if players could name their grids with the correct factions, it would stop me visiting the place twice. Otherwise, I'm going to have to replan my tour. So we've seen most of the grids on the server. Not everyone was included. But anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you saw some really cool designs. Let me know which was the favourite base ship in the comment section below. And I'll see you next time.